Oh, you can't hear the theme, can you?
No.
I know why. Well, we're recording, folks, so the theme music technically isn't working. I know why, but we're not going to fix it because this way we can get right to your information just as quick as we can because there's a lot to talk about, Bill. We got Major League Baseball. We're going to handle that real quick, but we're going to handle it because this is a sports show, not just a football show. Even though right now most of our time will be spent, a vast majority of the time will be spent in football. Can't ignore other stuff. The NBA started last night. Celtics beat the Sixers in Boston. If you're a Philly area fan, Warriors beat the Lakers. Opened up their season. They got their rings, and I like the fact they got their rings in front of LeBron. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Bronny, look what I got, and you know, they got hype. There's just something about LeBron James.
I know.
Even that new what is it, AT&T commercial? Well, I guess my job here is done. You the new squad, even in the commercial, you smacked ass. Get out of here. I just don't get me wrong. It has nothing to do with his basketball skills. They're great. But boy, he just comes off so patronizing and condescending to me that it's just take a hike, LeBron. And now he's going to hang around till his kid plays with him. That's all.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him for that, I guess. But still, there's just something about the guy just bugs the crap out of me. I don't know. I guess it's me, bud, but it's
yeah, I agree.
Although I'm not alone. And I'm sure I'm not alone. There's a lot of people like, but it is what it is, I guess. But I was happy that the Warriors won in front of LeBron. Got their rings and all that shit. I don't know what
bling bling.
Got the bling for that ring in that finger, son. So, and we'll see what happens with the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation. That'll probably be fine, except don't be surprised if Draymond's somewhere else next year because they're spending salary cap money. But he's getting older.
He's overrated.
Yeah, he's overrated. Yeah, I don't know about overrated. I got to give props. He's defensive wise and rebound wise, he's it. But he's not. But he's not that all-round player.
He's only averaging like 6 points a game, and
he's not. Yeah. All right, so that's the NBA part. NHL. Did the Flyers win last night?
Flyers won.
They did
win.
Losing
2-0.
I saw they were losing 2-0. I couldn't stay in tune.
3 unanswered goals, and they're 3-0.
Really? It was 2-0 at the end of 2, wasn't
it? Yep. 3 third period. 3 goals.
3 goals in the third, and they held off Tampa Bay. Some people are picking to win the whole thing again.
Well, the last 10 games, Tampa was 10-0 against them.
Ooh.
I mean, they got outshot I think it was close to like 40 to like 25 or something.
Man! And who's Giroux playing for? Calgary?
He's with Ottawa.
Oh, he's with Ottawa because they won last night.
Yeah.
And they said Giroux got a goal actually.
Yeah.
Good for him. I liked him. I thought he was okay. Well, I still do. It's just he's not really good too. My team, Carolina, I don't think is playing yet. That's who I've been rooting for Carolina because of Rod Brindamore and the fact that the Flyers dumped on Kate Smith. That still pisses me off to this day. That's just I kind of root for him, but not like I used to because that Kate Smith thing really irks me, man. That's wrong.
Yeah.
And they've done absolutely nothing to correct it. They don't care. It's all corporate and it's about money. So
that and the woke stuff
that's what I mean. Yep. Yeah. Well, it's the money. That's the money part.
Yeah.
The woke stuff is money to them. That's all.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't really care about the woke part. They care about the green part. The bastards.
Yeah.
So it's Comcast, NBC, all that,
Yeah.
Then you go to the other side and you got Disney that owns half of Fox and half the world. And so you got the two things going against each other all the time. ABC and Fox are now affiliated, and ESPN and Fox are now. It's a giant cluster.
Yeah.
So, Major League Baseball, the Yankees won Game 5, the deciding game last night, and they are playing tonight against Houston. That ought to be a wild series. Stanton went yard yesterday to right field. That right field porch is almost like a joke, a fly ball that's going to go out.
Yeah.
And of course, in Game 1 of the NLCS that started last night, Kyle Schwarber hit a ball so hard it cracked my sliding glass window here in Kansas. They were 488 feet. It left the ballpark at 119.7 miles an hour. They said the hardest hit ball maybe all season. He crushed it. The only 2 runs the Phillies got was Harper's solo home run early and Schwarber's late. I mean, they're going to have to hit a little better, but Zach Wheeler was outstanding yesterday. He gave up 1 hit in 7 innings, so 1 walk.
Yeah, and I was surprised that they took him out because his pitch count was,
83 pitches.
It
was okay. In 7 innings, 83 is not bad at all. You could have got 8 out of him.
I'm glad they got the win for him because
I did. He deserved the win. And I almost felt bad for Yu Darvish, who outside of those 2 home runs pitched just as good a ball game.
Yeah.
But 2 mistakes. And that was it. Harper's barely left the park, but it was opposite field. He's been going opposite field lately, and it's paying off. And Schwarber, man, he crushed that ball to the upper deck in right field. Oh my God! Did you see Harper's expression when
he's like,
in the dugout? He was like, "What?" And he's been around the game a long time.
Yeah.
Those guys are, even Big Papi afterwards was like, "Oh my God, man!" It was big.
And that shift almost hurt him. You see that play,
the shift with on Harper in the first inning.
No,
the first inning or second inning?
No, the last inning. The
Phillies, yeah.
And the shortstop, they're a double play ball, and the shortstop,
and the shortstop couldn't get to the bag.
Yeah.
And technically, Bohm's throw was not that bad. It led him.
No, not at all. Yeah.
And I'm sure Bohm got the error, which sucked for him. I will say he hit a lot better in that 2 and 3 hole. It was the 3 hole he was hitting in. He's dropped down ever since they took him out of that 3 hole, and I really kind of wish they put him back in it because, man, the difference between him in the 3 hole and where he's at now, which is I think 5th or 6th, is night and day. I think they as an offense they hit better when he was in the 3 hole, but it's nice to see Schwarber getting warmed up and Harper getting hot. And if they can get a little bit of help from 1 or 2 more of these guys every so often, Segura or Hoskins or somebody, Realmuto, even Castellanos, that would be great. Then they could go a long way. I think tonight's a key. If they can pull out a win tonight and go back to Philly 2-0, man, that's big. That's huge. So,
and I think this is the first time ever that brothers are facing each other.
In the postseason, I think you're right. Yes, and Nola will face his brother.
They never faced plate appearance to the pitcher and whatnot.
Right now they have this past season. They faced each other, but you're right. In the postseason, I don't think it's ever happened before. Yeah. So baseball's starting to get a little interesting. That ought to be fun. Wrexham won on ESPN. They're getting coverage in soccer now. The Wrexham FA, the Ryan Reynolds soccer team, which I've watched a couple of those shows. It's pretty interesting how it works. They're like the low end of the soccer.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, one of the lower leagues. They are in Scotland, Welsh. Yeah, so they're trying to learn to speak Welsh. One of them is anyway, but it's pretty interesting. They've taken over the town, kind of, and all that. So, series is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's on either Hulu or FX. It's an original FX show. I think it's called Welcome to Wrexham, which is a town in Scotland. So it's Wales, actually. I apologize. It's Wales. It's pretty interesting. So.
And speaking of soccer, the MLS is
what's going on with that?
The playoffs started, and Union play in the second round tomorrow night against Cincinnati.
Cool. Okay. Good for them.
Yeah.
All right. So some things to keep an eye on, folks, sports wise, not just football, but about time for us to tackle our NFL stuff. Week 5, I'll go over all our results. I'm going to try and make it fairly quick, Bill, since we spent some time on other things. Bill on straight picks had 8 wins and 8 losses exactly. Oh wait, I think I'm looking at the wrong week, buddy. I am.
Yeah,
I apologize. I apologize. Bill's like, I did better than I thought. No, you didn't, Bill. Hold on, it's right here, my friends. It's all figured out. I just didn't bring it over. Here it is. Bill was. Oh no, you had 9 wins straight.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
you had
said. I
9-5 though, with not nine
yeah,
and seven. Yeah, because there were last week was the first week for buys. No, you had a good week. 9-5. I was 8-6, so you beat me on straight picks by a game, which takes your record to 43, 36 and 1, 54.4%. Oh no, I apologize. 52, 41 and 1, which takes you to 56% for the season. So you went up a tick. That's good. I lost a game on you, I believe. I did. I was 8-6 this week. Still not bad. I'll take it. I'm 2 games behind you at 50 and 43 and 1 at 54%. So I'm picking up a little bit.
yeah.
On the spread, you had a tough week. You were 6-8. That might be the first time I know of you going below 500 on the spread.
Yeah, so many upsets. That's
Yeah,
what
a lot
happened.
of upsets this past week. We'll go over a couple of them. They were brutal. But yeah, even last night or Monday night was an upset as far as the spread was concerned.
Mhm.
You know, so yeah, it was tough. Yeah, it was 5 points by the time it went off, and of course, the Chargers had to win with a sudden death field goal, which was only 3 points. So we both lost on the spread there. That puts your spread record at 43 and 47, just below 50. You almost got there, buddy. 48%. I had a good week against the spread, at least for me. I was 8-6, above 500 for a change, which put me on the spread for the season right at 45 and 45. We both have 3 pushes for the season. Puts me right at 50%. So again, we're still in that range, and Vegas isn't doing much better, buddy. I picked up on one thing, and their percentages are like, I think 58.5 against the spread. So you're within 2.5 points of them, and I'm not that far off. I'll get there,
Right.
I think. So we'll get there, buddy. Like I said before, I'm probably going to be picking some of these with you today. I've only picked 4 or 5 games in advance, but I
Okay.
will try and get through them as quick as I can here with you. The buys this week, Buffalo has a buy. The Rams are on a bye. The Eagles are on a bye. So all you folks watching in Philadelphia, your team's not going to play this week if you're a Philly fan. And the Vikings are on a bye. So that's 4 pretty good teams that are on a
Yeah,
bye.
4 good teams. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rams aren't having the season they want, but they're not out of it by any chance. So, because San Francisco lost last week. So
Yeah.
that was one of the games that was kind of big. So
Yeah,
um,
their combined record is 19-5. That's pretty
that's a pretty good
that's
record
pretty
for those
good.
4
Yeah.
teams. Good
Yeah.
stat. Bill gets the stat of the day. There you go. Dun, dun, dun. My lock of the week did not work out. It worked out. Actually, didn't work out at all. I picked Green Bay to beat the Jets, and boy, and that was an upset. And both of us did that. That was one of our losses. That was the Jets flew into Green
Yeah.
Bay and kicked butt in Lambeau. That's a shocker right there. But the real shocker was Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh beating Tampa Bay. Tom Terrific was ticked. You could see him yelling at his lineman. He wasn't happy at all. We both went against Vegas and picked the Commanders over the Bears, even though it was only a 1-point pick, and we both won.
Yeah.
So that was good. Baltimore and the Giants, we both lost that one. That was another upset. We both lost. Well, no, you won the spread on Atlanta, but you picked San Francisco straight. I picked them
Right.
across the board, so I lost on San Francisco as well. Minnesota did beat Miami, but I lost on the. No, we both won across the board.
Yeah,
I
we both
apologize.
won. Yeah.
Yeah. Cincinnati, New Orleans, we both won that one barely. New Orleans was playing pretty tough for a while, but finally Cincinnati woke up and got going. I took a shot with Jacksonville over Indy and I lost. You took Indy and won. That was good for you. That helped you. New England and Cleveland. This is one that I was proud of. I took New England. You took
Did?
Cleveland. Yeah, and New England just crushed them. I was surprised by the amount of gap there was between the score. Rams, Carolina. You changed your spread pick to Carolina, and sorry, buddy. Who knew that? Man, that was bad.
Well, the first half was I was in distance, but
Yeah, yeah. Arizona, Seattle, you won across the board. I lost on the spread because I took Arizona, but I won, or I lost on the straight, but I won on the spread because I said Seattle would keep it close. Well, they won, so that was good. Buffalo, KC. Did I change? Yeah, I changed that and lost. You took Buffalo. Oh no, I didn't change it.
no, we both had
I was
Buffalo.
I was just rooting for the Chiefs. So that was one of those wins that was like, oh man, I won, but my team lost, you know?
Hmm.
But I just knew you could, that was the eye test. I just think Buffalo could very well be, as much as I'm an Eagles fan too, I will tell you that I think if they played today, Buffalo would beat them. It might be close, but I think Josh Allen is like a beast. He's like
Man,
he's just a, did you see him
he's
hurdle that guy?
phenomenal.
He
Yeah.
hurdled that one guy on the scramble. I mean, yeah, Reed for Kansas City. He just jumped right over him. 250 pounds, or 6'4" or something, and then he hurdles guys too. I mean, he'll either run over you, or run over you. You
Yeah.
kind of or run
Yeah.
away from him. I mean, he's got you. Uh, Eagles beating Dallas. That was the change I made, and I was glad of that one. I made that change. Just I had I was fighting it for 3 days, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and change it if I'm fighting it this hard. And it was tough because I'm fighting it because I said heart is Philly, brain says it's going to be close.
Right.
And then I said, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice. You took Philly straight, which was a
And
win for
lost on the
you
spread.
straight, but
Yeah.
you lost on the spread. Yeah.
And Dallas
Which
almost did. I
and
think
Dallas
Dallas
almost
almost
got you.
covered.
Yeah, they almost covered. Yeah. Um, and of course, Monday night we already talked about. It was a
Right.
5-point spread, and it took the Chargers overtime to win on a field goal, so we both lost on the spread there. But we did win across the board straight. So there's your records. There's what we did last week. Here we go with this week. You ready, Bill?
Yes, sir.
All right, first game. As of now, and DraftKings has been fluctuating with some of these, but as of now, I'm looking at the DraftKings, folks. So these odds are up to date as of Wednesday, 4:10, 4:09 Eastern. But we will have the Sunday Morning Express. So if anything changes injury-wise or point spread-wise, we will be on Sunday morning for the Express. The Cheapseats Express, the usher getting us to the seats as quick as they can so that we can give you the lowdown. New Orleans, Arizona, right now they're picking the Cardinals in Arizona by 2.
And Arizona has been playing like doo-doo. They
But
get
I
Hopkins
will say
back.
they get Hopkins back, and they
Get
traded
Hopkins
for
back.
Robbie Anderson. Now I don't know if Anderson's
Yeah.
going to be ready to play.
They said if he plays, it'll only be a handful of
Yeah,
plays.
because he
So I
won't know
think
much
he'll
about
be
what's going on.
he'll be a non-factor. And I like the Saints defense, so I'll take the Saints on the road.
Okay. I'll tell you, this was a tough one for me because I think since it's a Thursday night game, Hopkins is going to want to show that he's back and he is the man. Since it's only 2 and it is in Arizona, I'm going to take a chance and go with Arizona. I'm picking this one right with you, buddy. So I'm going to go with Arizona across the board since it's only a 2-point
All right,
difference.
there's our first difference.
So there's our first difference pick. And largely it's because Hopkins is back. He does already know the offense.
When teams are looking so bad, I don't pick them right away. They got to win a couple games in order. So that's why I pick the Saints.
Oh no, it works for you. I mean, we're both usually pretty close. Even when we lose, we're usually pretty close. Every once in a while, you get one of those like New England, and over whoever in Pittsburgh beating Green. You can't stop those. I mean, they just happen.
I like jumping out to the early lead on that Thursday night game. So
Yeah, that's nice, nicely done, my friend. Giants will play in Jacksonville. I am shocked and surprised that Jacksonville, I know they're home, but they're picked by 3. So I think that means usually you say it's up to 3 points for the home team. So I think they're saying they're even, and Jacksonville's getting the 3 points at home.
Yeah. Either way, it's still Giants are what, 5-1, and
Giants are
and
5-1.
2-4.
Jacksonville is Bupkis. Yeah, what are 2-4?
Yeah,
And they've had a couple games they should have won.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
blew.
I don't get the spread, so with that, I'll take Jacksonville.
Okay. I am gonna stick with the Giants. Saquon, is doing well. Daniel Jones is doing enough to win. I like the Giants' defense. We got a nice defensive line. So I am gonna go with the Giants. So there's our second 2 games in.
Woo!
2 different results, and I'm doing it across the board because it's only 3 points. I think that could be it wouldn't surprise me if that's a push. If the Giants win by 3 or something, but it should be a good game.
3, so
they're getting 3. They're getting
3. So so
we'll see what happens.
If you're taking them to win the game, you're taking them with the points.
Yeah, I'm taking them with the points. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, if you want to give me the 3 points, I'll be gladly take the 3
Let me
points.
think about that before I say no, my friend. No, that was the contemplation there. Detroit, who's coming off a bye, is going to Dallas, who should have Dak back, as they say. Dak Prescott should be back this week. Last I knew, he was ready. He was taking snaps with the first team, and he's ready to go. Supposedly.
Yeah, they said he could have played last Sunday, but they just wanted to give him that extra week.
Yep.
Detroit, as good as they've been the last couple of weeks, they haven't been good.
Oh, their last game was a shame, really. It was terrible.
But I'll take the Cowboys at home and give the 7.
Okay. And I did the same thing. The only thing that might change for me down the road is because Detroit, outside of one game, even the games they've lost outside of that one, have played really well defensively. Swift is back, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, he said he should be playing.
He should be playing.
That's his words. He said he should be playing.
Is it St. John? I don't know if he's back or not.
No.
The receiver.
Yeah, St. Brown.
St. Brown. I don't know if he's back or not. That makes a difference for them.
Sure.
Green Bay, but I took Dallas for now. I will probably keep Dallas. If there's any change on the Sunday Morning Express, I might change to Detroit to cover. But other than that, because Dak could be rusty still, and hadn't had a whole lot of time with that first team because remember he got hurt game 1.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. Green Bay in Washington. It is a 5.5 point spread, I believe. I will double check that for our folks. Where the heck? I must have. I skipped a game. I did. Oh, well, we'll have to add it to the bottom. I didn't skip it. I just didn't see it. But right now, the Green Bay and the Commanders. It is a 5.5 point spread for Green Bay.
I tell you what, Green Bay hasn't been all that great. Washington, with Carson Wentz going down for 4 to 6 weeks.
They are starting Heineke.
With hand surgery. Heineke starting.
Yeah. And I liked Heineke last year.
Yeah.
I did like him. He's gritty kind of, and I like that.
And the rookie Robinson that looked really good last week for his first second NFL game, but
he looked pretty good.
First starting. So
and Gibson had some run plays too. And I think what's going to happen there is that might be that competitive edge, something to wake Gibson up and say, hey, I got to run harder because this kid's going to take my job.
Right.
I think they both looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But their defense still isn't up to par. They're still missing a couple pieces on defense. So I will take the Packers to win the game, but I will take Washington to cover.
Okay.
I'll take the 5.5.
Take the 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and take Green Bay across the board. Same thing for now. That might change to what you have, Washington on the spread, only because I do like Heineke. And Green Bay doesn't, they need weapons. They got the 2 running backs who are pretty good, but now they're without Cobb, who wasn't explosive, but he's a great possession receiver. Now they're going to be without him for a few weeks. It's not as bad as they thought. It's a high ankle sprain, I believe. They thought it was fractured at first, but it's not as bad as they thought. But outside of Lazard, who's to me not a big deep threat anyway, they don't really have much as far as
they have the rookie Dobbs that goes deep, but I think this will be a game for Tunyon.
Could be a Tunyon game. Yep, the tight end. Dobbs has trouble catching the ball sometimes.
Yeah,
he does have some drops
and separation.
So we'll have to see what happens there, but I believe I'm going to take Green Bay across the board for now. But yeah, it's 5.5. It depends if the spread changes or if I get a bug somewhere, I might have Washington cover. But I think Green Bay's desperate. That's the other thing. I mean, you could say Washington is, but I don't know if anybody had expectations of Washington making the playoffs. But Green Bay is behind Minnesota, I believe, by at least 2 games right now.
Yeah.
So they've got to win if they want to get back in the division hunt and make the playoffs. So they're probably going to play desperate. But you don't hear Aaron Rodgers going RELAX, relax. He's not relaxing right now. So, and what's up with that hair? He's got like the ugliest hair in the league, I think. For anybody that can grow hair, Aaron Rodgers, it looks, as Chevy Chase would say, it looks bad. It's not good. It's not good. But I'm going to take Green Bay across the board. Tampa Bay and Carolina, the spread is now up to 11.
Yeah, that's a big spread for Tampa Bay. Is another team that hasn't been playing up to par,
especially after the way they lost to Pittsburgh last week. You're wondering, 11? That's might be high, but yeah. But I'm going to take Tom Terrific across the board.
Carolina is just one dimensional with McCaffrey, and if you take him out of the game, they have nothing. Done. So,
and I don't even know what quarterback is going to play yet. I don't even know if we know. Last I knew, Mayfield was going to try. Darnold's eligible to come off IR, and Walker's out.
Right.
So, I guess we got to sit back and wait for that, and that's probably why the spread is 11.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll take Tampa
Bay across the board. All right. Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore's loss last week to the Giants really kind of set them back a little bit, but they're lucky they're in a division that's not doing so well. They're still in the hunt in there. Cleveland lost. Cleveland had a chance to do something. Cincinnati's okay, but they've had their ups and downs. And Pittsburgh's rebuild. So
and Baltimore just signed Deshaun Jackson.
They did. They just signed.
And he'll probably play.
He'll probably get a couple plays in. Yeah. I
mean, played with him before, so I mean.
I think that's a good signing. I really do. He is such a deep threat. I mean, if you think about it, he was probably the Tyreek Hill of his generation. I mean, when he played in Philly, and even was it the Raiders or the Rams? He had a couple balls. You just don't know. He can get separation. He's got good hands, great speed. I was surprised he was still out there. And if you notice, it was 2 weeks ago. He says, "I'm not retired. I'm a free agent." And all of a sudden, phones started to ring. I think everybody thought he was quitting, and he's like, "No, I'm ready to play, baby. Let's go. Put on them shoulder pads. Let's rock and roll, baby."
There you go. And Bateman and Duvernay both been practicing, so it looks like they're gonna have their
All right, so you've got three decent receivers there, and you still got Mark Andrews, who is just a beast.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. So I will take Baltimore. but since it's a division game, I'll gladly take the 6.5 for Cleveland.
For Cleveland? All right, so you're going to go Baltimore straight, Cleveland with the spread. You know, I have Baltimore straight, and I have a blank on the spread. Same thing. Cleveland's desperate. I mean,
Yeah.
after losing last week, but they looked bad in that loss. That's the thing. Defense is decent. I'm going to go with Baltimore across the board. I think, not that Deshaun Jackson's going to make a big difference this week, but I think Bateman coming back, and Duvernay, Dobbins, Andrews, and I think Lamar Jackson, because he's hearing negative things, I think he's going to have some things he wants to prove. And I think he's going to use Cleveland in Baltimore like a dish rag. I think that he's going to use their defense and prove. And he's going to have to run around because, you know, Garrett is going to be right on it. Myles Garrett's going to be coming after him. So that may force him to run a little bit. And I hate to say it, but I think that's going to help Baltimore's offense.
Right.
So I'm going to take Baltimore.
All right.
Atlanta, Cincinnati. Cincinnati at home by 6 now.
Yeah, this should be a fairly interesting game. Atlanta's been playing well above expectations.
Yeah.
But they were almost one-dimensional also with Mariota running the ball.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they have the firepower to keep the points up. So I'll take Bengals and make that my lock of the week.
Cincinnati. And there it is. Bills, lock of the week. LOW. Let's hope it's not LOW for low scoring, right? You know, I agree with you on Atlanta being one-dimensional. It's all Marcus. It's Marcus Mariota or Bupkis, really. He did complete some passes last week, but outside of Pitts, I don't. You know, and people are keying on him. I don't see a whole lot of other weapons for him. And I think Cincinnati's in the same boat as Baltimore. I think they're desperate in that division, same as Green Bay is in the other one. So as much as I hate to do this, Bill, I have to agree with you. I think it's going to be Cincinnati, especially since, you know, I'll tell you what. I'm going to keep Cincinnati straight, but I think Atlanta might cover. So I'm going to go with the ATL to cover. Okay. Cincinnati will win, but Atlanta might cover. So because their defense has been pretty decent this season. So I'm going to go with them to cover. So there's another difference for us. Especially on your lock of the week. I could look real bad on this one. Bill's like, it's my lock of the week. I tried to tell you. Yeah. Indy, your team versus Tennessee at home. Tennessee is picked by 2.5. I'm kind of surprised at that, but I really am. I'm kind of surprised at that.
That the 2.5 the spread?
I'm kind of surprised. Well, I'm thinking Indy's.
They're in Tennessee, but
true, and that 3 or less option is there. Yeah, you're right. So, but yeah.
And Tennessee did beat them second week of the season, I think.
Did they in Indy? Yeah. Matt Ryan's figuring out ways to keep his team in the game and keep them close. You know, he's not turning the ball over, which keeps him in the game. A little better
Jonathan
than your
Taylor
situation last year.
Should be back.
That's what I thought. Is Taylor's coming back, right?
Yeah, Pittman's been heating up.
The rookie Pierce looks really good. So, and Jackson is a backup now for Taylor. Is looking pretty good. I mean, you still have Lindsey as a third down guy out of the backfield, which is okay. But boy, Jackson kind of impresses me. He's not Taylor,
right?
But they didn't lose a whole lot with that tag team kind of a thing. Problem is, if Lindsey came in, you knew he was either going to go outside or he's going to be out in the flat or a screen pass.
Right.
Where Jackson, you might not know where he's going to go. So you kind of gave away your stuff. Now with Taylor, they're going to look a little more versatile, I think.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And Tennessee, I think defensive defensively, some of their defensive backs are out. So I think the Colts win this one pretty handily, I think.
Ooh, handily, he says. So Bill's going with that's Bill 2.5. That's technically your upset of the week if you want it, because
Yeah.
Tennessee is picked by 2.5. So
Yeah,
we'll
upset of
put
the week.
Bill's
Yeah.
upset of the week. The UOW. There you go. Derrick Henry is still a beast. They're not giving him the ball as much, but I think that's on purpose to try to save him and have him available to the end of the season if they can get in the playoffs or stay close. Tannehill is still Tannehill. He's okay. He's not great. He's Tannehill, But you're right about their defense. Their defense isn't great. But Indy's offense, unless Taylor can take some of that pressure off of Ryan, hasn't been great either. I mean, they won the one game against Denver, 12-9 or something? I mean,
Yeah.
they've had trouble putting the ball in the end zone from the red zone. Because it's your upset of the week, I'm gonna have fun and go with Tennessee across the board. It's 2.5. Yeah. Yeah. This is where what do they say? Where men are men, and Troy Aikman would say, take the skirt off, take the dress off. We'll see what happens. It's in Tennessee. It's only 2.5. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and take Tennessee. That's not my lock of the week, though. I'm not confident about that being a lock of the week. Actually, if you think about it, all the games are semi-close here. The Jets and Denver in Denver. It is, as of right now, that one's fluctuated off and on. It is Denver by a point.
Yeah, it was even earlier, so I guess people were betting on Denver, but
and then it was 1.5 late last night.
It's in Denver, but you know what? The Jets are fun to watch with the rookie Breece Hall running back, and I tell you what, and they put it at Green Bay last week, so Denver's still in quicksand. They can't muster anything.
Yeah, and now Russell Wilson, even if he plays, he's got a banged up hamstring, so his mobility is going to be questionable or limited, and he's still playing with that strained shoulder, so he's kind of banged up.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'll go with the Jets
across the board, buddy. Well, it's a 1 point. So
well,
I guess
I'm taking them. I'll take the point.
Yeah, it's obvious. Boy, it's tough. And just as I said all those negative things about Denver, I'm looking at a couple of things. One, the Jets are going to Denver. Not an easy place to play because of the altitude. Russell Wilson all banged up, but he's still got Cortland Sutton. He's still got Judy,
yeah. Running game's a little.
Running game is iffy. That's the problem. But their defense is pretty good. And the Jets, though they've won, doesn't have that great offense. You know what I mean? They're not tearing people up, except for that's what I mean.
I think they're playing on not momentum. Just the coach. The coach gets them fired up.
He gets them fired up. That's good. I tell you what, that's good. He is a good coach. I mean, they love playing for him, and he backs them, and I'll give him that. Boy, I like Robert Saleh. I thought that was a good hire.
They're playing with pride.
Meanwhile, Denver's coach, he's already been on the hot seat for a few weeks. So this might tell you, do they like him or not? Yeah, I mean, if he loses this game, it might be his last game in a Denver sideline. I think, gosh, this is tough. I mean, and it's not like you can say Denver, but the Jets to cover. It's 1 point, so it's boy, that's one, and I didn't pick it yet. That's one of those I told you about. I didn't pick it. I think something keeps telling me say Denver, say Denver, say Denver. So if it's telling me that much, I think I'm going to say Denver. Obviously across the board, since it's only 1 point. It is not my lock of the week because at 1 point, that lock would be hit with bolt cutters. You know?
Mm.
I think I already know what my lock of the week is going to be.
Okay.
Houston and Vegas, 7-point spread for. Let me double check it. Yes, it is still 7 points for the Raiders coming off a bye week.
Yeah, the Raiders coming off the bye week.
Houston's coming off being
Houston's
Houston.
coming off a bye week.
Yes,
No,
they're both
Houston's
coming
being
off
on
a bye week. Yeah,
coming up,
but Houston's
so
coming off being Houston too. So.
Yeah, they're both well rested. I just don't think Houston's got enough firepower. So with that being said, I'll take the Raiders and even give the 7.
Ooh, he's gonna give this 7. I'm gonna take the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I think Houston's gonna hang around. They're not gonna win. But
Okay.
I'll take them to cover. So this could be a do or die week for me on the spread. It looks like. I mean, I'm either going to need 10 or 12 weeks to recover, or I'm going to be kicking ass, one or the other.
You know what? I mean, I like the running back for Houston, Pierce, the rookie
I do
Pierce.
like Pierce.
So I mean, it could stay
be
close,
a good game. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean,
yeah, or or Vegas could just blow them out. It all depends on the defense for the Raiders, I think.
Yeah.
Max Gibson is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's Gibson, right? Yeah. Are we talking about the same?
Yeah.
Guy? You know who
Yes,
I'm talking about.
yeah.
Oh, he's a beast. He's just I think it'll be them. Oh, I never did shut off the phone. Didn't shut the phone off, but we're okay. So I took Vegas across the board for now.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't. I took Houston
No.
on the spread.
Yep.
That might change Sunday morning when I come to my senses a little better. Maybe get off some medication or something, and I go, "What was I thinking?" I do like Houston's quarterback. He's kind of gritty and it's tough, kind of almost like a Heineke kind of a guy, you know. But he just doesn't have the weapons, I don't think.
Yeah.
And it won't surprise me if he gets, without it being said, gets kind of laid out there to be the scapegoat and they draft somebody or some shit like that. But, you know, rebuild and get a new quarterback.
No, there's a good quarterback class coming up.
Yeah, there is. So, and Houston's not playing well, so they're going to be near the top of that draft board. So, but for now, I'll take Houston, but it wouldn't surprise me. Don't be surprised Sunday, buddy, if I change that one for KC and San Francisco. In San Francisco, where are we, sports fans? The spread is 2.5 now for the Chiefs. They are favored.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. They both coming off losses. 49ers. I don't know what they were doing last week.
Sleepwalking, but not walking, limping, maybe.
I mean,
limping.
I think they had some injuries, but
they did. They had about, and I was going to change that game, and I was so mad at myself. They literally had 9 people out. 7 of them were defensive players, and 6 of those 7 were starters. So you got 6 starters out on defense. You got problems, and
yeah, I mean, even if they come back, I just don't think they're going to put enough points up to match KC. So KC and give the 2.5.
Yeah, and I did that too. Plus, let's face it, the Chiefs barely lost to a team I think is the best team in the league. I think Buffalo. I love the Eagles, and I hope I'm proven wrong somewhere down the line, but I think Buffalo edges them out as the best team in the league right now. Josh Allen couldn't be tackled by one of the Transformers, I don't think. You know, things. I mean, he is just. I think he'd hurdle him, or he'd run him over, or
he's
run
a
under.
beast.
He is. I think right now almost unstoppable. He really is, with especially with Diggs and oh gosh, I can't remember. Austin Knox had a good game, you know, and they were playing a good Chiefs team. So Don't get me wrong. The Chiefs went down. They had a chance to tie it or win it or whatever. But to me, it was an uphill battle all the way watching that game.
Right.
So I think Buffalo is too much. Was too much last week, but San Francisco is not as good as Buffalo. Jimmy G's okay. Jeff Wilson's running the ball pretty well. Kittle's not having the season. He's coming off injury, I know, but he's not having the season that he's had before.
Last week he played pretty well. Now Wilson didn't. I think Wilson had like under 10 yards last week, I think.
But I don't think they used him very often either, did they? They were trying to go to Ayuk a lot and Debo
Samuel. Yeah.
That's the guy that could break it against the Chiefs is Debo. Ayuk's nobody to laugh at either, but I think it could be a close game, hence the small spread. But I went with the Chiefs all the way as well.
Okay.
Seattle and the Chargers. It's a 6-point spread right now for the Chargers.
This could be a game of the week. I think this may be the highest scoring game of the week.
Ooh, there you go.
San Diego's a little banged up on the offensive line.
So is LA. You did the same thing I did.
Seattle's tough. I tell you what. Right now I have the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers to win, but I think I might take the 6.
I did take the 6.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the same.
6.
Yeah. I just they're playing really good.
All right, I'll put it down, and like I said, we got the Sunday Morning Express. We can always
with that.
Yep. And before we get to our primetime games, let's let everybody know that my friend Dennis Ingraldi sponsors us every week. We thank Dennis and we thank DraftKings, but Dennis is the guy that keeps us going here. At Vineland Realty Corporation, you can contact them if you're in South Jersey and looking for a realty need, whether you want to buy a house, sell a house, buy property, you have a business you want to sell, or you want to buy into a business. You can go see them at 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey for all your residential and realty needs. That's Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, 856-690-9482. Give Dennis and his folks a call down there. And we thank you, Dennis, for helping us out here. Our primetime game. Oh, first off, I didn't pick a lock of the week, did I? Well, we'll wait. I'm gonna even though it's a small spread. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm taking Tampa Bay as my lock of the week, buddy. I know it's an 11-point spread.
That was my second choice.
Was it? Well, I'm taking it since you didn't. That is my lock of the week right there. And let's see. Okay, so now we have Pittsburgh and Miami. It's in Miami. Sunday Night Football. Miami is picked by 7, and it looks like Tua will be back. The number 1 quarterback has been practicing all week with the first team, and it looks like he'll be back. So there you have it.
He's supposed to be playing, but it only takes one hit. He hasn't played a full game since week 3, I believe. So but with that being said, I do have Miami winning the game, but I'll gladly take the 7 points because Pittsburgh coming off that win last week against Tampa, so they should be
okay.
And they're probably going with Trubisky at quarterback because pick is concussed, so
he's probably out on concussion protocol. And Trubisky brought him back last week. Took the ball down the field and put it in the end zone. But Miami's a little better defensively than people give them credit for, I think. I'm taking Miami to win the game. I will put that down. I'm torn. I'll be honest with you. Defensively, if somebody told me T.J. Watt was back, I would take Pittsburgh to cover. Because I think he would be in Tua's face all day long.
Right.
But he's not back. So I'm going to take Miami across the board. at least for
Okay.
now, and I think that's where it's going to stay. I will write that down as a difference for us, and go from there.
Very good.
My last game, Monday Night Football, and I'm sure, I am positive ESPN is thrilled with this matchup of Chicago Bears versus the Patriots. What's on? You know what's on the line here? Bill Belichick could become the #1 winningest head coach of all time, passing Chicago's George Halas. It's in New England, but it's against Chicago. Now, last week, one of his players tried to give him the ball for tying it, and he didn't. You could see it on the sideline. He wouldn't take it. Now, whether that means he'll take it and let the camera see that or not, knowing him, he probably won't take it on the sideline. He would maybe accept it, in the locker room. Knowing Belichick, he's all about football. Except for the fact that it is Chicago and it's Halas. If it was somebody else, probably not.
Right.
You got to give the man his due. #1, New England's playing a lot better, and I like Zappy. I think New England is happy with Zappy.
Happy with Zappy.
Happy with Zappy. I mean, Mac Jones may be close to back, but even if he is, it wouldn't surprise me if Belichick says, "Hey, I'm sticking with this Zappy kid." It worked for him once before with some kid named Brady came in for Bledsoe who got hurt. So Belichick's not beyond making a change if he thinks it's better for his team. New England is picked at home by 8. This is not one of those games I had a problem with.
Yeah,
this
no,
one's
I don't have a
picked
problem
and
with
picked and triple picked.
I'm just thinking of what I'm trying to say here, because Belichick always Belichick always focuses on taking one thing away from Chicago, from their opponent.
Yeah,
but Chicago don't have nothing.
They got there's not one thing to take. I don't know what they could do. Montgomery. That's probably about as close.
Yeah,
shut down the run. Shut down the run. It's it's over.
Yeah,
but it's over anyway. I mean, if Montgomery doesn't run for about 350 yards, they got no shot.
Yeah. So this ain't going to be close. And with that being said, the Patriots across the board.
ESPN is so happy to get this game. I mean, it's you'd rather have that Denver Indy game at 12-9 than what could happen, because ESPN should cut in with like cornhole at halftime, because at least you want something competitive.
At least Ty will be watching that.
Ty will tune in for that and go, let me see if I can pick this guy's form out in here or whatever. But it's not going to be pretty. And if for some reason this game is close, I should just give up doing this show. Because this just, and I shouldn't say that either, because so I said should, not will.
Week, after the upsets last week, I guess anything's possible.
Anything could happen. I mean, Pittsburgh, what was that about? Tampa Bay losing, that was just But there you have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 differences, Bill. One is the very first game. The first 2 games, Jacksonville and the Giants, and they were both across the board differences. Green Bay and Washington, you did take Washington to stick with the spread. Like I told you, that I might change to that, but for right now, I'm not. That's a difference. I took Baltimore across the board. You took Cleveland to stay within 6.5 of Baltimore. That's our difference there. I took Atlanta to stay within 6 of Cincinnati. You took Cincinnati across the board. I still took Cincinnati to win. You took Indy. I took Tennessee, both across the board. So that'll be interesting.
Yep.
You took the Jets. I took Denver, again, across the board for both of us. So that'll be interesting. Though it's only a 1-point spread. And I may wake up and come to my senses on that game and take the Jets. I mean, that's just,
Mhm.
but I'm rolling the dice on that one. We both took Vegas across the board, except I took Houston to cover for now because it's a 7-point spread. We'll see what happens with that with my brain. Chiefs across the board in the late afternoon game. Same with Seattle. We both took the Chargers to win, Seattle to cover because it's a 6-point spread.
Mhm.
7-point spread, but you took Pittsburgh to stay within the 7. I took Miami across the board. You did take Miami to win the game straight out. And of course, we both took New England to beat the Cubs. I mean, the Bears,
Mhm.
who are going to play like amputated Cubs probably, by 8. And that's like I said, but we do have about 7 or
Yeah.
8 differences here.
Yeah. So
So
what's your
it's
upset of the week? We got both
Oh,
got
I
the
got to pick
locks,
an
and I
upset
got
of the
the
week. That's right. Well, let me see. I think I did pick one. Uh, Technically, I could say the Giants because Jacksonville's
yeah,
picked by 3.
yeah.
That
That'd be a
might
good
be
one.
it. I'm thinking that's it. The only other one would be I took Tennessee over Indy. Like I told you, that could change. I did take Denver. That's a 1-point. So to me, that's not really an upset. So I think my upset of the week is going to be I just said it too. Oh, the
The
Giants,
Giants, the G-men.
the G-men. John's upset. There it is. Okay. I think that just surprises me, in all honesty, that Jacksonville even picked, let alone given 3.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I really am. I mean, you got a 5-1 team, and Jacksonville starts out strong every first half, and then second half they can't
Yeah.
score. Um,
And Danny Dimes is playing, and
and
Barkley's
yeah,
playing. So
Barkley's
and
playing.
the receivers are starting to get a little healthy. So
Yeah, some
I
of them
don't
are
know.
getting healthy. So I think the G-men are going to win a uh 17-14, 17-16 game or
Mhm.
something like that, or 20-16 or something. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game for either team. I think it's just going to be a tight game, and I think the Giants will pull it out. I think they have a little bit better running game with Barkley, even though the kid for Jacksonville, Robinson, is it?
Robinson and Etienne, yeah.
And Etienne. I do like Etienne.
Mhm.
Um, they're both running the ball pretty well, but Lawrence is still always under the gun. They need a little more help offensive line, and
Mhm.
I think they need another receiver, top flight receiver. But they're getting there. I think
Yeah.
Peterson slowly but surely knows he's got to build the team, and he's getting there.
That's one I could change, but it's just weird with that point spread, and so something's up.
Yeah, something's weird with that. That's the only thing. And let's face it, we're fighting Vegas. We're in the running, but sometimes those guys know something that we don't. I mean, when you got that kind of money out there,
Mhm.
somebody's talking. So
Yep.
we'll have to see what happens there. Unless we have any other news, Bill, or anything else you want to share, I think that should wrap it up for us.
No, the only thing is go Phillies, go Flyers tonight, and
Yep,
go
go
Union
Phillies,
tomorrow
go
night. So
Flyers, go Union. And of course, I'm go Eagles Sunday. I don't think
there you go.
you don't necessarily have that one, but or you're going go Indy, go DC. So we'll see. You think Dan Snyder's going to get kicked out of the league eventually? I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to happen
I
now. They're saying he should vote, but I
no,
don't think it's going to happen
it'll
now.
it'll be a while, but I think I didn't read the article, but he was having a feud with Jerry Jones or something. I didn't look into it, so I don't.
Well,
Uh,
they had a little bit of a spat. Now they're supposedly back together.
okay.
He shook They shook hands and all that. But I don't know how long that's going to last because Jerry was the only vote yesterday. Oh, what was it about? It was 31-1 on something, and Jerry was the only negative vote. And I'm like, oh, he's going to be pissed. But Snyder did name Jones and Roselle and a
Yeah,
bunch of other
yeah.
people. I'm getting dirt on you guys. He's trying to play offense as a good defense kind of a thing. I think when you guys that have that much money, I think they're all type A personalities, so
Yeah, yeah,
they're
no
gonna
doubt.
bicker. Apparently Kraft and Jerry Jones got into it yesterday about something, but I can't remember what it was. But Jerry supposedly told Kraft "F you," and it got nasty. But I can't remember what it was about. But
yeah. But you know, it would be interesting. Remember the show back in the '80s, Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh,
The claymation.
I was just
would
going to
love
say the
see them
claymation one on
No,
MTV.
yeah,
That would be
I would love
great.
to see them two go at
Oh, Jerry and Kraft. Oh, that would be so funny. You know what
Yeah.
would have been better in its
Yeah.
day? Jerry and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, if they had Jerry and Jimmy Johnson
Yeah.
going to that celebrity death match, that would have been great. Oh, I'd have loved to eat that up. That would have been so funny. But yeah, and you know, it's a shame I totally and I watched it too this morning, and I totally forgot what the subject's about, but it was 31-1. It was something wasn't even getting taken seriously, I think, and you know, but it wasn't the Snyder thing. It was something else completely
Right.
different. I think it had to do with looking at the rougher and the passer thing, and they don't
Yeah.
want to do it now.
Right.
I think you'll see it. Look at the end of the season. So, all right, buddy. I'm
All
gonna
right.
let you go. Then we have our picks. Remember your Eagles, Vikings, Rams, and Bills are on a bye this week. And I will see you. We will see you Sunday morning for the Sunday Morning Express, only on Facebook Live exclusively. We thank DraftKings for helping us supply with the odds and the changes. And of course, we thank Vineland Realty Corporation, my pal Dennis and Graldi at 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey, for sponsoring us here on From the Cheap Seats. That's 856-690-9482. Thanks, Dennis. The band will be back next week, and they'll be back in here to play whatever the hell it is they want to play. I don't care. So thanks for my pal Billy Smith. Enjoy the games, as Billy always says. Enjoy the games, everybody, and enjoy the next few days. You've got playoff baseball, opening season basketball, opening season hockey, and opening playoffs for the Union. So MLS playoffs. So good night, everybody. Good day whenever you're watching this. And Bill, thanks again.
Thank you, Johnny. Have a good one, buddy.
You too. We'll talk to you Sunday.
You got it.